As much as I don't like ships, I must give accolades to the Aces and the Nelly'S pair. Okay, fine. I know that they have been unpaired, yes, but quite frankly, I can't keep those two pairs' name out of my mouth because I find them quite interesting and very intriguing, yeah. But as I was saying, I must give them their flowers, give them their accolades, because these people know how to create content out of their ship, which is something I've always looked forward to on the Big Brother show. For those of you that have been a part of this community for the longest time, you can attest to the fact that this is one thing I've always looked forward to in any ship in Big Brother's house. I mean, it's no news that I've never really been a fan of overly romantic ships. You know, all those type of ships that already the people involved are already calling each other my husband, my wife. Especially those types of ships where the housemates involved will think or probably assume that us, the viewers, we are sex-starved, and then they would decide that for the entire duration of their stay in Big Brother's house, they will only dish out sexual content. I find it so mediocre, so shallow. It becomes very irritating to me. It becomes very annoying to even watch the show, especially when the cameras fall on those people. This is why I appreciate whatever is going on between the Aces and the Nelly'S pair. Yes, as I mentioned before, they understand the assignment. They know how to create drama from their ship. And I'm speaking about healthy drama. I'm not speaking about the kind of extremely toxic one that we all experienced during the Level Up season. That will never be a favorite at all, yes. So they know how to create healthy drama, you know, drama that makes you, you know, you sit at the edge of your seat, you want to know what's going to happen next. You want to see if each of the parties will buckle. And even at that, we also need to acknowledge the ladies in these ships, that is Nelly and Anita, who are very, you know, skilled in playing mind games with the guys. Yes, they're very good at the game of manipulation with the guys. I mean, every time they are wrong, they always know how to twist things up, you know, so that the guys come running to them to apologize, to own up to wrongs that they did not even commit. Yes, and the guys on the other hand, they also understand the assignment. They understand that listen, this ship has to move on, the ship has to sail. There is no docking. We might take a pause, but we cannot stop at this point in time. And so they also understand the assignment. They also know how to play along. Yes, so I give them their flowers. And the most intriguing part of this whole thing is how timely their lovers tiff, you know, happens. It's like when Sooj and Nelly are having issues, automatically it rubs off on Anita, and automatically she begins to have issues with Topher, and then vice versa. And so it makes it more interesting because these are no strangers. These are pairs that actually came into the house together, and so it's like they have this telepathic means of communication that, okay, when something is wrong with my ship, my situation, it automatically affects yours. Yes, and it makes it more fun. And speaking about lovers stiff, there was another one that happened again between Sooj and Nelly last night. Apparently, this particular situation started a day earlier. Yeah, and we did not really notice, because the thing about these two is, as much as they spend a lot of time together, there's also room for each party to, you know, go ahead and explore things with other people, despite the fact that Nelly, you know, used to complain about Sooj not really spending a lot of time with her, but they've actually found common ground with regards to that one. And so, as I mentioned, this particular situation started a day earlier, and I'm going to give you all the tea on this video because these people had a lengthy conversation last night. It was a lot. So I'm going to give you all the tea about this one on this video, so please make sure you watch the end. Do not skip out on any part, all right? And yeah, you're welcome to my channel. My name is Gloria Elijah. This is Frankly Speaking with Gloria Elijah, and I am the girl with the tea. Ladies and gentlemen, I look forward to hearing your thoughts about the situationship in the comment section below. And you need to watch the end because I'm going to ask a question at the end of this video, all right? And also, quick reminder, today's Saturday, so by 3 p.m. WAT, we're going to be converging here for our YouTube live conversation, our weekly community gathering. I look forward to hosting all of you. There's a lot to discuss, there's a lot to unpack, and I really want to hear your thoughts, all right? So please make sure you come through. Do not miss out. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you are yet to, and all of that. So let's just quickly continue with the rest of this analysis. So it turns out that Sooj and Nelly had not been on talking terms since Thursday. And after listening to both sides last night, it made sense. Yeah, everything I was thinking about, especially about the Thursday pool party, it made sense. Yeah. Because I noticed that during the pool party, both of them were not together. They were not dancing together. They were not clinging to each other as they normally would do. Nelly was more expressive than ever. Nelly was dancing so much. As a matter of fact, she had exposed that bomb, I think, for the first time this season. Yeah, she was in the pool dancing. I think she was the first person to get into the pool. She was dancing in the pool. She was twerking in the pool, came out of the pool, was twerking outside. Like, she was living her best life Thursday night. And, you know, she was giving the vibes of a wife and mother that has just recently divorced from her husband, just regained her freedom, and is about to paint the town red, about to explore a newfound freedom. That was the vibe she was giving. And Sooj from time to time would turn and look at her, would stare at her. And guys, I did not really understand what was going on, because in my head, okay, maybe they decided to, you know, have fun because Ebuka had complained that the pool party the previous week was quite boring, you know, so I did not really think much to it. And also, after the party, when the housemates had gathered at the dining table to celebrate Onyeka's birthday, when people were giving their speech, Nelly had been quite annoying, to be very honest. She had been quite annoying. In fact, she was like an irritant at that table, because she had this little bell the housemates had used for one of Biggie's games earlier in the day, and every time someone was talking, she was ringing the bell and ringing the bell. It was so distracting, it was so annoying. She was a nuisance at that table, and at some point Ozzy almost lashed out at her because she was, guys, she was like an irritant there, let's be honest. It was annoying. Even me, I almost muted my TV because the noise was too much, was giving me a banging headache. And she did not care, despite the fact that Ozzy had warned her several times. And while she was doing all of that, you know, being overly dramatic and just being a nuisance, Sooj was quiet. And you know, I was wondering why Sooj wasn't doing anything about it. He wasn't stopping her from doing what she was doing. He wasn't cautioning her. He wasn't doing anything. Yeah. So at that point, I kind of suspected that, okay, there could be a problem between these two. You know, they're probably at loggerheads with each other, but I didn't really pay attention to it. Earlier yesterday, Sean had noticed that there was this distance between the couple. And so he had asked Sooj about it, and Sooj had not really given the details, but he had mentioned that he wasn't going to be the first person to make the move, because he's always the one to make the move whenever it seems like there's an issue between him and Nelly. And so he had tried to keep his distance, but he couldn't anymore, because a few minutes before the housemates had been called into the arena for their wager task presentation, he had stopped Nelly along the corridors of the dressing area to talk to her, but she had not budged. You know, she had wriggled her way out of his arms and had moved away from him. But anyways, they had gone into the arena, had their wager, which they won by the ways, and gone back into the house. And that was where we started hearing bits and pieces of the actual issue, you know, whatever had transpired between these two. Now, beginning with Sooj, in a conversation with Anita, he had spilled that Nelly disrespected him upon something he had actually explained to her before. Now, from the way he put it, every time they have a task, every time they have to go into the arena, if they have like maybe an hour or a few minutes to go, he would love to take a nap to refresh himself and re-energize himself, you know, so that when he gets into the arena, he gives his utmost performance to whatever they had to deal with. Yeah. And this is something he had actually explained to Nelly that is a necessity to him. But according to him, every time he tells Nelly things like this, Nelly never takes him serious. You know, she just goes ahead to do whatever she has in mind to do. And so on that particular Thursday, they were in the garden and he was trying to catch a nap, and Nelly was shaking him to wake up, like wake up, wake up. And that really upset him because this is something he had actually explained to her. And everybody around them were laughing, but he did not find it funny. Yeah. So for Nelly, it was a joke. But for him, it was not a joke because this is something I've actually told you before. So why are you trying to create a joke at my expense? It doesn't really make sense. So that was what he had explained to Anita. And Anita was explaining, though she was there, so she was explaining to him that, well, it's sad that he did not see the joke in it because Nelly was actually joking, that Nelly was not serious. You know, so Sooj was kind of adamant that no, but why is it that every time he does something, she doesn't want to see the joke in it, but every time she does something, she terms everything that she does as a joke. It's not that deep, it's not serious. Now, the part that really wounded him was how she just completely ignored him, you know? She did not check on him, she just literally stayed on her own, and it seemed like she knew what she had done, and she was waiting for him to approach him to start up any sort of conversation. So that had really, really triggered him. So he started, you know, avoiding her because for him, this time around, she has to be the bigger person and come settle things with him. But ladies and gentlemen, typical girl nature, or typical the Nelly'S pair's nature, Nelly did not go to Sooj. And so she started holding a grudge. And her own grievance with him was that he's actually keeping malice with her, he's ignoring her, he's not talking to her, while Sooj, on the other hand, was waiting for Nelly to come apologize to him for what she had done earlier. So guys, that was how they kept their distance from each other and the whole thing festered. Yeah. Now, according to Anita, Nelly had her own grudges to keep because she was joking with Sooj, and Sooj did not give off the air of one who was offended. Now, after Sooj, Anita had gone ahead to have a conversation with Nelly, and that was where Nelly had actually spilled a lot about the things that Sooj had done after that moment that she had, in quotes, triggered him. According to Nelly, Sooj had automatically revoked all of his love, his care, his attention, and affection from her. And the ones that really got to her the most was the fact that both of them had eaten, they had had a meal, and they had kept the food in, I think their closet or their cupboard, or which one. And Sooj had taken his to the fridge, but had left hers in there. Now, there was also the bedsheet situation. From time to time, Big Brother comes to take away all the bed sheets and the duvet covers to go launder and then bring a fresh batch for the housemates, right? And people who are close in the house, they help each other to, you know, pick a pair. And for Nelly, Sooj did not do that. Sooj had gone ahead, taken his own sheets, gone to lay his bed, and had ignored hers. He did not help her the way he normally would. Now, she also mentioned the fact that she combines his laundry with hers, you know, but ever since he started giving her that attitude, that keeping his distance from her, he selected his own clothes from hers, did his own laundry, and abandoned hers there. So all those little things, you know, even making food and eating by himself without even inviting her to come eat, all those things really pissed her off, because in a normal day, these are things that they either do together or she does for him, especially the cooking part. She is always cooking for Sooj, but all of a sudden, Sooj is getting his meals from elsewhere or even making the food by himself. And ladies and gentlemen, when she, you know, shared all of that with Anita, personally, I was even upset on her behalf, because this is the same thing that, and what's her name, Wani, had complained to Big Brother, you know, about that whole revoking affections and whatnot because you people are at loggerheads with each other. And quite frankly, I just feel like it's childish. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? I mean, ladies and gentlemen, I'm posing the question to all of you now. Would you do the same thing for someone you claim to love and care about? The moment you have issues with that person, you just automatically revoke all of those nice things you used to do for that person. Is that in your nature? Is this something you would do? I'm asking all of you guys, please let me know in the comment section below. Finally had a conversation last night. Now, that conversation was a struggle. It wasn't the type of conversation that Nelly had willingly participated in. She did not want to have that conversation with Sooj. If she had a way, She wanted to be downstairs playing the drinking games that the rest of the house were playing. But Sooj had cajoled and cajoled and cajoled her, you know, to stay with him. They should talk things out. And of course, both of them, they were bearing out their grievances, how one had offended the other. They had shared all of that. But then it was in the midst of all of these things that Nelly had actually blotted out. You don't like me. You don't like me. If you liked me, you wouldn't have done what you did. And ladies and gentlemen, I stand with Nelly 100%, because there was a video I did where I explained that you don't have to like someone to be with them. You could be with someone for different reasons, probably for the benefits of it all. And you could also be with someone because you genuinely like them. So when Nelly was blotting out and, you know, venting that, oh, you don't like me, you don't like me, I could totally relate. I understood where she was coming from. But anyways, typical of Sooj and Nelly, they will always find a way around their differences. And so they had a lengthy conversation, of course, but at the end of it all, they had settled their differences. And of course, Nelly got to, you know, consume the alcohol she wanted to consume, because one of the reasons she did not want to participate in that conversation was she wanted to go participate in the drinking game downstairs. So she had a fun. And at the end of the night, she was tipsy. I don't know if I should call it drunk. She was tipsy, and there was Sooj to the rescue. Sooj had helped her go to bed, you know, taking care of her, babied her all through the night, and they had cuddled to sleep. And whilst the one was happening, Anita was busy apologizing to Tofa, and I was wondering why. Because ladies and gentlemen, I did not think those two actually had any issues, yeah. But they two somehow were having their own lovers tiff, and for the first time, Anita was the one apologizing. But they two had equally kissed and made up. And as I speak, there is peace in the land. So ladies and gentlemen, I had asked the question before, that are you the type of person that completely revokes all of your love, your care and affection to the person you claim to love and adore? Are you the type? What would make you go to that extent? Is it even necessary to go to that extent? Is that the best way of punishing or maybe teaching the person you love a lesson? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll see you guys on another video, and also by 3 p.m. WAT today, all right? Thanks for watching and have an amazing day. Bye.